What I had said earlier, and I didn't say it very loud, is that I think Watergate was a turning point, but I don't think Watergate explains the denigration of the profession that began in the 1980s. I think Watergate is kind of this threshold moment where it could go either way. It's what Talmage would call a tipping point, where different people took different lessons from Watergate. What I would argue is that for the first couple of 3 years in the 70s, after Watergate, lawyers actually had a pretty good reputation. We elected a president, Jimmy Carter, who wasn't a lawyer, but who ran essentially on a almost Ron Paulist, constitutional platform of being intensely honest and moral. And most of his advisors were lawyers. In fact, you didn't hear a whole lot after Watergate that was critical of lawyers, because while you did have Charles Colson and you did have Ehrlichman, you also had John Dean, who ratted these guys out and was a lawyer with a photographic memory without whose testimony none of this would have happened. And you had Jaworski, and you had Archibald Cox, and you had Elliot Richardson, who resigned rather than do the immoral and so on. So I would actually argue that Watergate was the tipping point, that Watergate was kind of the high watermark for lawyers. It was a time when people like us of this generation were saying, boy, would there be anything better than to be Senator Sam Ervin up there behind that table talking about the Constitution, and we're not going to let you get away with that. Could there be anything better than that? Or to be Charles Allen Wright or Archibald Cox? Those were the auspices under which we departed for law school.